Ag Life, presented by ADM Lloydminster.
Hello again and welcome to our agriculture show, Ag Life. I'm Gerard Lampow. On the menu, 4-H Canada is rolling out mental health support for young people, and that's coming in the spring. Plus, we introduce you to the series Real Farm Lives and Young Farmers Ignite in Camrose. But first, we're very happy to have a community partner joining us on the show for a segment that will become a regular staple. Archer Daniels Midland, or ADM, they've been in Lloydminster since the early 90s, and they're spread out in over 170 countries around the world, employing some 31,000 people. Let's meet their new commercial manager here in Lloydminster in the person of John O'Donnell.
Thanks, Gerard. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I'm the commercial manager for the canola processing facility here in Lloydminster for ADM. I started back with the company in 2007 at our flaxseed processing facility in Red Wing, Minnesota. I held a variety of different merchandising roles there that would include origination, meal marketing, oil marketing both internationally and domestic in North America. And then moved into commercial management, where I've been for the last 4 years. I just started up here in Lloydminster back in July.
Awesome. And of course, you've come to Lloyd with your entire family. So welcome to the border city, hey?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
For sure. Now, tell me a bit more about ADM, Archer Daniels Midland, because you guys are based in Chicago, correct?
Yeah, we have our global headquarters is based in Chicago, and then our North American headquarters in Decatur, Illinois. But I like to start with the origins of the company because it's similar to my origins with the company. So it all started back in 1902 with the Daniels Linseed Oil Company in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so linseed's just another word for flax, where we were processing flax for linseed oil, which is what is used for that term. And that linseed oil was used for a variety of industrial purposes that it still is used for today, which would include inks, architectural coatings such as external paints and stains for wood products.
Awesome there. And of course, in terms of your involvement in Lloydminster, you guys have a tremendous impact on the local ag sector.
Yeah, so locally, the ADM facility here supports both commercial and operations where we're crushing canola. So we have about 100 employees on our local facility that are supporting roughly 7,000 farmers that we're buying from, either a single truckload over a year up to thousands of tons from producers. So size doesn't matter for us. We're in the market for canola, and we're happy to work with anyone. We're taking that canola and we're processing it into canola meal and canola oil, which would then be used in both animal feed and could be further refined into different food products. So we're sending that out both in the domestic Canadian market and in international markets around the world.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a tremendous involvement in the local community. And it dates back to about 1991, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's when we would have took over the facility here. That facility was here before us, but ADM would have taken it over. I mean, we've had a very large expansion here just in the last few years. So with those 7,000 farmers that we're working with, we're running an annual metric ton crush of somewhere around 1 million metric ton, plus or minus a bit. So the scope of the facility is quite large.
Yeah, indeed. I know we're seeing it blossoming really over the years. I'm tempted to ask what's next in a little while here.
Well, I mean, the next is just trying to run what we've expanded to, right? So we are trying to reach the capacity that we're at, which is a good sizable task for us. But so getting out, more outreach, trying to build our relationship with the local community, encourage farmers that ADM is a great place to market your canola.
Yeah, and those relationships are just so important. I'm going to try to wrap up on a bit on the personal side, because you've moved here with your entire family, a young family at that, mind you.
Sure.
You guys miss home, miss the parents.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have young children, right? My oldest is only 6 years old, my daughter, and then I have 2 boys and another one on the way. So, but no, we've lived away from home. We originally are from Chicago, but lived in Minnesota for some time, and we like to explore new areas in the world. So coming out to Lloydminster has been a great experience thus far. The people are great here, and just look forward to spending some time here and getting to know everyone.
Awesome. We're going to look forward to those relationships as we move on here. And we're going to have more of these visits with yourself or members of your team over at ADM. So we really look forward to those in the coming weeks and especially going into the new year.
Sure. No, I mean, it's a great facility and we want a personal touch, right? So getting to know just not only myself, but our team members, I think would be great. And we appreciate the opportunity to join you on the show.
John O'Donnell there, and of course relationships are so important. This is where you get to put in on the show as well as we roll our events calendar. Remember, if you want to get in on this part of the show, simply email me, glampow@newcap.ca. Let's have a look. And still to come, 4-H Canada will be rolling out mental health support in the spring. Do stay with us. Youth mental health across the country is getting a shot in the arm. I find out how 4-H Canada is stepping up to the plate.
The crankshaft.
Well, I think that, really we're responding to some of the needs of our young people.
4-H Canada CEO Shannon Ben is excited as the organization is getting ready to roll out the 4-H Canada Healthy Living Initiative in the spring.
Over the past couple of years, we've really heard that youth need more supports, in particular, navigating some of the mental health challenges that they're facing. But we know that young people have fewer access to resources, especially in rural communities in Canada. And so as an organization, we decided that we wanted to do something about it.
The 2-year program will see the creation of resources and tools, connecting youth to those resources, and a focus on physical health, nutrition, and well-being.
4-H is a leadership organization. We work with young people and enable them to succeed in their pursuits in life, and this was a big part of it, that we, young people need to be strong and confident, both physically and mentally, in learning to succeed and navigate some of the challenges they face.
Ben is thankful for the corporate support that is making the initiative possible.
Along the way, we had many corporate partners that came along and partnered with us, like Farm Credit Canada, Cargill, UFA Cooperative, and Corteva Agriscience. So we're really fortunate that we also had corporate partners that wanted to invest and saw the importance of the same things that we do in young people in Canada.
4-H Canada will also deliver webinars and workshops to its more than 7,000 volunteer leaders in the ongoing effort to support the more than 25,000 4-Hers across the country.
Our focus is definitely with our members, so the young people that are in rural communities. But so a couple of things. We'll be training the leaders. We have about 8,000 leaders that work with and mentor youth in communities across Canada. So those leaders will be, trained to direct young people to access supports and, how to recognize young people in distress. But 4-H members will also know how to direct their peers and know, where to access resources and tools for young people.
The plan is to connect young people to existing resources like the Kids Help Phone and Do More Ag.
What we're doing are taking a lot of the resources that are out there and amplifying them. So making sure that they're communicated and young people know that they are there and they already exist.
So we'll be looking forward to that training in the spring. But when we come back, it's time for Real Farm Lives. We visit with the Englot family of Montmartre, Saskatchewan. Do stay with us. Thanks again for staying with us on Ag Life. Well, in this next segment, we're really grateful to Real Farm Lives for sharing their content with us. And with over 3,000 acres of soybeans, canola and durum wheat to look after, there's always a lot of farming to do at the Englots Cost a Lot of Farms in Montmartre, Saskatchewan. So courtesy Real Farm Lives, let's meet the Englots.
The farm, it has to be in your heart. It's not just work, it's got to be in you. And you have to love the highs and you got to deal with the lows. We're the Englots. My name is Loretta Englot. This is my son Luke and my husband Norman. And we farm south of Montmartre 5 miles, an hour east of Regina, Saskatchewan.
We farm about 3,000 acres, canola, durum, soybeans this year. I love every morning when I have a coffee and I look out, I just see wide open space and I know I don't want to go anywhere else.
In the mornings, we like to go outside and have a coffee on the deck and discuss what we're doing for the day.
Oh, pretty good day. What are we doing today, Luke?
Maybe spray a bit?
I guess we should, get going on that. Looks like the durum's getting close. We'll have to walk out there, take a look. Man, we'll get the sprayer out and fill her up. And once I get going, you can go take care of the water truck and fill it up. And then we'll carry on with that.
Take the horse home, Mom?
I think we'll go for a little ride while you guys are doing the spraying.
Luke and I probably go take a look at the field here right now and make sure it's right. I looked the other day and it wasn't quite ready. Let's see what the heat, how the heat brought it on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, talk to you later. Yep. First thing Luke and I are gonna do, we're gonna head out into the durum field. What we're looking for is to see what weeds we have to do a pre-harvest control of the weeds for next year. I have to look at that kochia here right now, I guess, and see there's some on the hilltop. And then we'll go over and look in the low spot. We noticed probably 3 perennial weeds out there that we really have to get. We're seeing kochia, sow thistle, and we're seeing a roundleaf mallow. Look at this patch of sow thistle. That's a difficult weed. They're linked by the roots, suck a lot of moisture. This is a perennial. Perennials they can live over winter. And then they're back next spring sucking moisture before the crop even gets planted. So we got to get rid of them. We basically want to control the perennials before they get too big and get out of control. Okay, well, let's go get the sprayer out.
Come on, Briggs! I don't know. Let's go for a little ride. When we have some downtime, I myself have horses. I've always had horses. I think I got my first horse when I was 8 years old and have had horses ever since. Okay, let's go. When I go riding, it's just me and my dogs and my horse. It's my happy place.
Today, we're getting ready to do weed control for next year. Hey, Luke, get that hose hooked up. We're running a liter an acre here. The truck holds enough water for us to spray 500 acres is where we're at. It's just the one hookup. It's very clean. Okay, I'm gonna start spraying. Luke's been spraying a few acres here and there, and he probably could do it on his own, I guess. Now I can sit back pretty soon and watch him spray. It's kind of nice. Can't wait for him to take over.
It's really exciting to see Luke taking over more responsibility. If he works as hard as Grandma, he'll have it made, right?
Yeah.
Farming has come so far in my generation, it's amazing. When we started farming, I milked cows by hand. And we had 2 combines going, 2 old yellow combines. I thought, oh my God, how much luckier could we be? We're richer now and happier than anyone should be. How does the old song go? I got water in my well and all the food I need to eat. Yeah.
You could just wait probably there too. I'll just pull it out quick.
Okay. What are you hauling?
Soybeans.
Soybeans, okay.
Yeah. Dad said there's 300 bushels in the bin.
Okay.
You want to drive?
No.
These ones are tough to get under.
Down, down. Okay. Good.
Okay, get ready to turn this switch
You
on.
do it.
All you do is just turn it on.
Yo.
Yeah.
Kelly win. No.
Go.
Where are you going with this?
Probably to Weyburn.
Rayburn?
So I think that's what Dad said anyway.
Don't run that hopper over because Grandma's not helping you clean up.
That's why we got the shovel.
Loretta and I, we've done this for 36 years. It's not real work when you enjoy what you're doing. Everybody hopes their kids will take over the family farm. You don't ever want it to end. I think right now we're going to push the kids to go take some ag schooling. And now Loretta and I, we're looking towards retirement. Luke will be done school and he can go work for a while. If he wants to come back, the option to come back and take the farm over is always going to be there. Land is something we'll probably never sell. I knew that I wanted to be a farmer and be my own boss. It's a great life. I just love it.
There you have it indeed. Part 1. Thanks to Real Farm Lives, we will have part 2 of the Englots as we see how Madison is bringing her university training back to the family farm. That's coming in our next Ag Life. Well, when we come back, a packed room of young farmers get some help on keeping it together on the farm. Ag Life continues after this break. Thanks again for choosing Ag Life. Well, a packed room as Farm Credit Canada is taking its second Young Farmers Tour across the country. I caught up with the Ignite team. We caught up with them in Camrose.
And those of you who raise livestock, you know what oxytocin is.
Oxytocin is that feel-good love hormone that affects everything from bonding to lactation. Dr. Amir George Sabungi started off his professional career in the Navy and has transitioned to being a psychologist.
Having served in the Navy taught me two things. One is the importance of focusing on why we do things, that sometimes our sacrifice, if we feel that it's for a noble cause, then it's not as painful.
Most people call him Dr. George. He says the second thing he learned as a naval officer is the power of the team.
And one of the hardest things for the farming community is being isolated and feeling alone. And so figuring out ways to remember why we're doing this, why our sacrifice matters, remembering that we are not alone, and that especially in an environment where people don't ask for help, it's important to reach out and give them the help that they need because they won't reach out and ask for it.
Social media, especially Ag Twitter, is helping to bridge the isolation. Also the sense of seeing the bigger picture that Canadian farmers feed the world.
This is the food bowl of the world, actually, you know. All of the wheat we have gets exported to Italy, and you know, we know the Canadian farmers helped to keep Europe alive during the Second World War. And so when we forget why we're doing all this and we forget how much people appreciate our sacrifice, this is when people get into a lot of trouble. So
This point resonated with his young audience.
I think the biggest thing that we talked about today was just the importance of mental health, not only in our day-to-day lives, but also when it comes to on the farm and balancing stress and different ways to deal with that, and just little things we can do to kind of make ourselves a little bit more positive in the way we see and view things.
Stahura, who farms with her family in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, is in her third year at Lakeland College. Dr. George says his main takeaway is 10 ways to get our serotonin levels up and keep our energy buckets filled.
And things that should be fulfilling, like seeing our friends and family, feels like a chore for us. Spending quality time with our spouses feels like it's just one more obligation. We have to break that. We have to remind ourselves, hey, the whole reason we're doing this is for our families to have better quality of life.
And of course, that's where we're going to leave it for this week, but not before we tease you as to what's coming next week. Some more on 4-H Canada. We'll look in on a program that helps youngsters deal with cake decorating, so we'll touch base on that as well. We'll get some more from FCC Ignite in Camrose. We'll also have that for you. And part 2 of our story from Real Farm Lives-The Englots of Montmort, Saskatchewan. You don't want to miss out on that. So that's a wrap for our show. Remember, if you've got a comment or story idea, we would certainly love to hear from you. Of course, you can email us at tvnews@newcap.ca. You can mail us here at 5026 50th Street, Lloydminster, Alberta, T9V1P3. Just address it to myself or AgLife. Of course, you can email me to glampow@newcap.ca. Once again, thanks for staying with us. I'm Gerard Lampow. For all things ag, take care.